Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Oh, frog in my throat. That's not a good start to a video, is it? Let's hope that my voice lasts the course. Let's talk about today's puzzle. It's called Technically Correct by, I'm going to say Lorena. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It could be Lorena, it could be Lorena, but I think Lorena is the way I've heard this name pronounced in the past. A debut on the channel for Lorena, no less. And this puzzle's been, we've had a flurry of recommendations to have a look at this. Apparently it's moderate difficulty, and the one thing that struck me about it as I look at it is there are an awful lot of clues, and I'm not used to that at all. I forgot to look on Logic Masters Germany about whether it's got rated or not, but you can see that I get 2 given digits, which I will no doubt ignore, and a whole welter of, or a wealth indeed, of quadruple clues. So we will read the rules of this together in a moment or two's time and attempt to solve the puzzle together. Now, before we do that, there are a few things I would like to mention. The first is, and forgive me for this, but I did a poem yesterday, and one of our patrons wrote to us and asked if I could read a different poem. A poem that, well, it was a patron called John, and John asked me to read this poem, which is, I'm sure it's a poem that will be known to many of you. In fact, I'm not even sure. I haven't read it on the channel before. Or if not, I might have read it in a sort of poetry anthology that we did for one of the Kickstarter books. But it's the poem Invictus by Ernest Henley. It's just a phenomenal poem. If you don't know this poem, you're not in for a treat from me reading it, but you're in for a treat in terms of the linguistic value of it. So I will read this, and forgive me, and I hope that's okay. So Invictus by Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. It's just a phenomenal poem. Anyway, John, there you go. I hope that's what you wanted. Next, let's talk about Patreon, where we are closing in, aren't we, on the end of January. And therefore the 1st of February, and on the 1st of February we have a brand new Sudoku competition starting. Where's My Mama by the Paint by Numbers Institute. Numbersome puzzles aplenty. Very, very lovely, very great artwork. Clocksmith, thank you very much for preparing that. And I think 11 puzzles in all, if my memory is not deceiving me. Do check it out. You will enjoy it. It goes live 4 p.m. UK time. The prize, as for the last couple of months, will be the chance to make a Sudoku video with me that will hopefully one day appear on the channel. And I need to schedule one with this month's winner, Erin, if I remember correctly. Erin, thank you for your email. I will get back to you. Now, what else? Let's do a birthday. I've only got one birthday today. And it is for Piotr over there in Antwerp in Belgium. I think Piotr, you might go under the nickname PJ. Your girlfriend Pauline wrote to me and said that you're turning 35 today. So I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday. Apparently you love Fog of War puzzles. Well, we've let you down there rather. Although there was an excellent one, if you've not seen it, 2 days ago on the channel by GDC, which was... It was quite remarkable. 4 cell thermometers. Definitely check that out. And apparently, I can't believe the two of you watch the channel, but you normally skip the happy birthday messages, but you won't be doing today. Well, here is a little thing that I have heard. I do not know if it is true, because obviously I sort of make the videos rather than watch the videos. But I am told by people who do watch the videos that actually the birthday messages they're sort of a bit cathartic, and that they give people a sense of warmth. And I hope that's true. I mean, obviously, I suppose it's probably true if you're the one who's getting the birthday wishes. But I think even if you're not, it's a nice way to spend a couple of minutes on the internet every day, when lots of minutes on the internet can be spent on things that raise your blood pressure. So yeah, I'm glad you're watching today, and I recommend you watch on most days. There, I've said it. Anyway, Piotr, I hope you have a great birthday today, and I hope it's filled with large amounts of heavily iced chocolate cake. Now, with that said and done, let us turn our attention to Technically Correct by Lorena, and I will read you the rules of the puzzle. We have got: fill in the grid with digits which cannot repeat in any row, column or marked 3x3 box. That is not the way we normally word that rule. Fill in the grid with digits which cannot repeat in any row, column or marked 3x3 box. So do Sudoku basically. So that digit, put the digits 1 to 9 in that row, that column, and that 3x3 box. Then we've got kropki quads. The digits inside the circles must appear in the cell that they touch. Digits in, again, the wording of the rules is slightly unusual here, but I think that just means we've got to put the digits 1, 2, 3 and 6 into those 4 squares. We've got to put the digits 4 and 8 into those 4 squares. Now sometimes, yeah, see, normally the way it's worded is it says the digits inside the circles must appear at least once in the cells they touch. So for example, here you could have 2 4s and 2 8s in theory, because you could do this. But here it just says the digits must appear in the circles. Then it says, in addition, oh, Maverick's about to fly over. Hello, Maverick. Hello, Maverick, my old friend. In addition, the circles function diagonally as black kropki dots, i.e. when 2 digits are separated diagonally by a circle, one of them is 2 times the other. Oh, I see. Oh, well, that puts pay to my idea of having 2 4s and 2 8s. Because you can't do that, because 4 is not 2 times 4. So, okay, forgive me. Sorry, I should have read the rules more carefully before I turned on the webcam. Basically, you've got to put... so if this square was a 2, this square would either be 1, because 2 is double 1, or 4, because 4 is double 2. That is the way that works. So there's a sort of an invisible black kropki relationship. Look, what we could do is that and that. Each sort of how should we each slash is a black kropki dot relationship. Now there's one more rule which says white kropki dots separate consecutive digits. Not all possible dots are shown. So if this square here was a 3, I won't use 2 because 2 and 1 won't work. But if this is a 3, this is either 2 or 4 in order to be consecutive with 1. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And as I said, it just feels to me like I've got lots of things in this puzzle. I mean, that has to be a 1, 2, 3, 6 quadruple. In fact, the one of it is... Yeah, okay, so because the 1 is not at the top, and the 1 is therefore in 1... Oh, no, hang on. I actually... I'm already not doing Sudoku. There is no 1 here, is there? Apart from me. But no, I mean in the grid, there's no 1 there, because there's a 1 there. So actually, I know where to put the 1 around this... this quadruple. Now 1 we know is in a 2 to 1 relationship with this digit here. Well, that's not a 0.5, that is not a Sudoku digit, so that is a 2, and this is a 3-6 pair, and we're off and running. Therefore, yes, okay, I've got another sort of complete quadruple clue here that has to have a 1 round it, and that 1 must be here. So that's 1, that's 2, this is a 4-8 pair. 1 is now in one of those two squares around this 1-2 pair, and therefore the 2, because of this black kropki dot relationship, the 2 must be on the left hand side of it, which means 2 is up here by Sudoku in box 3. There's another. That's really weird. Look at the way that one is. That's got 4, 8, 1 and 2 around it, but the 4 and the 8 are on the top. Here it's in numerical order, and here it's in numerical order, but there it isn't. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's 1, 2, 4 and 8. And look, we can just write the 1 in again. This one sees those 3 squares. So that's 1, that's 2. This is a 4-8 pair. Yeah, I did wonder about doing this over here, but I'm going to start to do this here, I think. This digit, whatever that is, I don't know. We don't know yet whether it's 4 or 8. But it has to find an accommodation around here, doesn't it? And it's going to be on this side of it. So that digit is on this side, which means that it does actually. I was about to say something that wouldn't have been technically accurate, but I think it is legitimate to say that that digit is on this side of it. What I was going to say that, and then I suddenly realised that what if this digit was 4, and the digit on this side of it was a 2? Then it would have been still possible for 4 and 8 to be in this domino. But actually, because we can't put 2 in this domino because of Sudoku, I think it is necessary that in fact the 8 and the 4, yeah, I mean it is necessary that orange is on the other side of this digit, of the green digit, because whether the green digit is 4 or 8, its only partner that will form a black kropki dot with it is 4 or 8. So we can do the same with the 3 and the 6 here. You know, that digit's going to have to be down there, and 3 and 6 only have, in terms of the black kropki dot relationships, they only have the partners of 3 and 6, so they're sort of exclusive. So that digit's got to be in one of those squares as well, doesn't it? No, I've done something wrong. I've done something wrong. Sorry. What on earth have I done here? Sorry, I've done something wrong. I can't. What on earth have I done wrong there? I haven't done anything yet. There's no way to fill this quadruple. The reason. So I'm so sorry. I've completely stumbled here. But the problem is this: the quadruple. If we think about digits that can share a black kropki dot, they are limited in terms of the panoply of Sudoku numbers. So we've got the digits 1 to 9, obviously. Now 5, 7 and 9 are not valid black kropki dot numbers, because imagine you did try and put 5 here, for example. What digit are we putting opposite it in its black kropki dot relationship? Well, it's 10 or 2.5. Now they aren't Sudoku digits. 7 would have 3.5 or 14. 9, 18 or 4.5. They just don't work. So the digits you can use are 1, 2, 4, 8, which have already been used here, or 3 and 6. Now, I don't see how I can put 3 and 6 once around this kropki dot, but that digit simply cannot go here. So I can't put yellow. I don't understand. Let me just, sorry, I'm just going to, if that's 3 and that's 6, I'm now seeing that I could have placed 2 in box, I didn't think about this, but I could have placed 2 in box 3 earlier. But if that's 3 and that's 6, then obviously this digit, the only black kropki dot I've got available is 3 and 6, but neither of these digits can be 3 or 6 because they're going to see the other one on the diagonal. What have I done wrong? That is not wrong. The 1, I put the 1 in, that's correct. That must be opposite 2, that must be opposite 3, 6. I don't need to think about any of this. Even if I've got this wrong, I didn't use it. The point, once this is 1, 2, 4, 8, which it is, that I'm not having that isn't correct. That is correct. This is correct. This is unfillable. This is unfillable. Oh, okay. Oh, that's evil. That is just plain and simply evil. We're going to get complaints if we put this out. We're going to get complaints. I quite like it, but it's evil. Right, I have been duped here. Well, yeah, no, I have. Well, I have been duped. I can't change. I was thinking earlier I was going to change these rules. I can't change them because they're correct. But I think even when I did the introduction, I said put the digits 1 to 9. That doesn't work. Look at the wording of the first line of the rules. Fill in the grid with digits which cannot repeat in any row, column or marked 3 by 3 box. Well, okay, except what it doesn't say is fill the grid with the digits 1 to 9, such that each digit appears once in every row, column and 3 by 3 box. Now, I think, therefore, that what Lorena has done, which is quite funny, is to set the puzzle up so that you can't solve it if you use the digits 1 to 9. So I think the idea is going to be, well, what about the digit 0? Now, the digit 0 is interesting in terms of a black kropki dot, isn't it? Because a 0, if you multiply it by 2, you get 0. And that would allow me to at least populate this quadruple clue. What is the wording of the kropki quad clue? Circles function as black kropki dots when 2 digits are separated. One of them is 2 times the other. Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely... That would work. That would work. Okay, so that's probably what we're meant to do. Technically correct. It's an outrage. It's an outrage, but it's quite a funny outrage. And I might have to restart the puzzle. Let me just think about that. Have I assumed... Let's just... I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. 4 and 8. Yeah, the only way it gets messed up is by double 0, isn't it? So it is still legitimate. That digit still has to appear around there, so that's green. And whether it's 4 or 8, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. One thing that worries me a bit is you can't do Sudoku with this. Why do I say you can't do Sudoku? Well, because normally when you do Sudoku, you assume the digits 1 to 9 all have to appear in any row, column or box. But in this puzzle, we've got the introduction of zeros. Now, it might be we still can do Sudoku if it means, for example, which it might do on the face of it, that the digit 9 doesn't appear in the puzzle. That would be quite funny as well, wouldn't it? But then I could do Sudoku. But what worries me is, what if the digit 9 was in the puzzle and there was sort of a sprinkling of zeros? Cannot repeat in any... I'm not sure we could do Sudoku in that case. But what we do need to do, I don't trust anything over here. I don't, well, okay, I put a pencil mark 2 in there, didn't I? That's, in fact, I could have written 2 here, I now see. I'm not sure I can. What if this box had a 0 in it instead of a 2? Then I couldn't write 2 there because there wouldn't be any 2 in this box. So I think I've got to be incredibly careful about Sudoku. But it is true to say that purple is down here, and it is true to say yellow is there. That is true. But it's also true to say that the digits that surround this include 0. So there's going to be a diagonal 0, 0 relationship, as well as the 3 and the 6 around there. Otherwise, that is unfillable. I am very confident about that, which is one of the few things I am confident about with the puzzle. So, and there might be a 2 here. Let's try and remember this cell and see whether or not I would have been lucky if I'd written 2 into it. Look, and all of the other quadruple clues don't have they don't have 4 candidates, so this nonsense could occur again. Although I say that one can't have 2 zeros on it, because that is in box that is in box 5, so we can't use the double 0 trick here. So this one, it can't have a 1, 2 on it, because the 1 is obviously here. So this has 4 on it, definitely. It's 3, 6, and then either a 4, 2 or a 4, 8. I'm actually going to pencil mark it. Forgive me for this, but now there's no 2 there, but that is, I can do Sudoku there in terms of removing candidates that are impinged upon by Sudoku, I think. Yeah, they can't repeat. Yeah, because normally if this was 4, 8 and this was 4, 8, this would be a 4, 8. It would be a green 4, 8. Oh dear, this is I'm feeling a bit zugzwanged by this. Okay, let's get rid of that purple. That purple was just there when I was trying to understand what mistake I'd made. There's got to be a 1 and a 2 around that one. Right, the 1 around that clue is in the lower part. That's going to give me a digit. Right, the 1 around this one is in the lower part of it, because there's a 1 looking at those 2 squares. Now that means there is a 2. Oh, that's a terrible pencil mark. There is a 2 in one of these, so that can't be a 2. But this 1 sees that square, so this can't be a 1. So this is a 1, and that means that's a 2. Now can we use this 2? No, it's just reinforcing what we'd already learnt by the fact there's a 1 in one of these. But the same thing happens here. Look, this 1 means there's a 1 in one of those, so there's a 2 in one of these. So there's a sort of X-wing of 2s and 1s in columns 3 and 4, i.e. we cannot put any 1s and 2s up here. Although whether we'd have been prepared to bank on the fact that we were trying to put 1s and 2s up there, I'm not sure. But we can't put 1s and 2s up there because there's a 2. If imagine there's a 2 here, then there's a 2 here, and that is the 2 2s that must exist in these 2 columns. There may only be 1 2, but there definitely aren't 3 2s in 2 columns. So that digit has to be over here. Yeah, there are no 2s around this one by Sudoku. So that digit, the thing is, let's give this a colour just because I want to show something here. That digit is in one of those, and then its friend, which we'll call red, is here. Now, ideally what we'd like to do is to relate red and lime green to these colours. Now, how do we do that? We don't know whether this has got 4 8 around it, do we? I've got something. Right, what do I put around that one? Yeah, that's got to be right. Okay, this one, it's all in a box again, so it can't be double. Actually, it couldn't have been double zeroed anyway, because there are 2 zeros in this 2 by 2. So there are no zeros in this 2 by 2, because imagine there was a 0, then it would be a third 0 in 2 columns. That's not going to work. Now, this can't be 4 8, because if it's 4 8, one of the 4 8 digits is the red digit, and that would need to be around there, and it's not. So this is 3 6, I want to say. And now oh, Bobbins, I don't know. How do we and now I want to relate blue and yellow to these, but they don't really, it doesn't really work. Maybe I've got to, if I recolored it, say that was blue, then blue would be over here. And yellow would be over here, and this would be yellow. Now you still can't relate it to those. This is a very odd puzzle. It's really odd. So I've got 3 6s here, definitely. Right, so that means that, okay, this one doesn't have 3 6 on it. Because there is a 3 or a 6 in one of those 2 squares, and there's a 3 or a 6 there. So neither of those can be 3 or 6. So this one is not 3 6. So that one is not 3. That's 2 4 or 8. So this one is 2 4 or 8. That one can't be, oh, that one can't be 2 because of Sudoku. Oh yeah, okay, so those 2 are 3 6. There has to be a 3 6 around this. So we've got 3 6. Right, let's just get rid of all the corner marks and see what that means. So we've got 3 6 here. We've got possibly 4 8, possibly 2 4. So that digit's definitely green, isn't it? Because it is a 4 or an 8, so it must, and it can't be the red one. So that's the lime 4 or 8, and that does that mean it's dark green, or could it go there? If it goes there, it would be orange. I don't know actually. If that's a 4 or an 8, this would be orange. That would be dark green. Oh, I don't. This is really confusing. Hang on. Right, I'm going to change tack altogether then. I might come back and look here, but I'm going to change tack a bit here because, oh, actually, am I? I've thought of something else. Well, no, I'll go with my first thought. This domino. Now, the nature of consecutive digits is that there was always going to be an even digit and an odd digit. That's obviously true, isn't it? Now, in this puzzle, things are polluted a bit because of the possibility of 0, but we're not putting 0 on this dot because 0 would only be consecutive with 1, and there's a 1 here. So 0 isn't on the dot, 2 isn't on the dot, 4 and 8 are not on the dot. So the even digit, the only even digit that can go on that dot is 6. So it's got to be from 6, 5, 7. And that means I get that digit. That is a 3. That is a 6. And if you're saying, yes, but I can't do Sudoku with this, can I? I'm not allowed. Oh, well, I can, okay, I can say 6 is down there. That's true. So there must be a 3 up here. So okay, I can do Sudoku from the perspective of, I do know that there's a 3, 6 here, so I can use that 6 pencil mark to put the 6 and the 3 around this one. So there's now no 3 there and there's no 6 there. And can we play a similar game with this kropki dot then? Even digit onto that kropki dot. It's not 2 or 6 and it's not 0 because one of those is 0. And in fact, there's a 1 in the box as well. So it is a 4. It is a 4 or an 8, and it's a green 4 or 8. It's a lime green 4 or 8. I don't know which one, but there is a lime green 4 or 8 up there. And that's going to have a friend over here. I'm just going to check this digit as well, because that digit is definitely in a sort of 2, 4, 8 relationship, isn't it? So it is a 1, 2, 4 or 8. Okay, let's label it up fully. I can see it's not 2 because of this. So it's either 1, 4 or 8. This dot is either, if that's 6, this would be a 5, 7 pair. If this is 6, 5, that could be 4 perhaps. Oh, don't tell me 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So this is either a flavour of 4, 8, or it's a 5, 7 if this is a 6. And if that's a 4, 8, then this would be a 2, 1 in that order. If that's a 2, 1 in that order, then this would be a 2 and that would be a 1. So the pattern would go something like that. And presumably if that's a 2 and that's a 1, that becomes a 1 and that becomes a 2. So the pattern is sort of, it's a weird X shape that's either got that property or that property for the 1s and 2s around here. Okay. What do we do? What do we do now then? Can we say with any confidence anything about anything? Am I not going to be in the same position here if I don't use 0 that I was here? Ooh, that's a good thought, isn't it? If, obviously around this quadruple clue, I've got a 4, 8 pair. I don't know if that's how it'll work out, but it'll either be like that or like that, and the 8 and the 4 might be the other way around, but something like that is happening. So my question is, how on earth do you fill this cell? It can't be 4 or 8 now. It can't be 1, 2, 3 or 6. That's all the black dot digits apart from, in this puzzle, the digit 0. So this is 0, 4, 8. And there are 2 zeros in here. So there are no zeros on this one. So this has to have real, not nonsenses. Lorena, there's no nonsenses around this one. So it has got 1 and 2. Could it have I see, maybe it could be 3, 6. I'm not sure. I can see that cell can be neither 3 nor 6, but I don't know if the same is true of that one. If that would have to be a 6, that would have to be a 3. I don't believe it. You know, that might be possible. It is so... There's definitely no 0 around here. What about 4, 8 then as the other possibility? Obviously, if it's 4, 8, the lime green would go this side, and the red would go this side. And that might be interesting, but it might not as well. Oh, good grief, I don't know. How do we do this? Have we got more quadruple clues to learn from somehow? The answer is, I don't know. It's not obvious to me. If I had to put 2 for sure in this box, it would go here or here. Oh, you can't put 1 and 2 around this one, because there is a 1 here and there's a 2 here, so neither of these can be 1 or 2. So the kropki relationship on this 3, 6 is possibly 00, unfortunately, or it's the 4, 8 variety. And if it's the 4, 8 variety, it would have to be a very specific way round, because that square can't be either flavour of 4 or 8. So it would have to be dark green, orange, and that would allow us to colour through our 4s and 8s. It would transpose these colours onto these colours, which would be a really nice thing to be able to do. And it would knock 4 and 8 out of these squares, so this would become a 2, 1, 2, 1. But unfortunately, I think there is another option. And that other option is rather horrible. And it's to do with the nature of... It's to do with the nature of 00. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not very easy, actually. Okay. What about... I don't know. Surely I've got a 2 looking at this square somewhere, haven't we? How do we get a 2 to look at that square? That would be very helpful. I don't see where. Okay, what about this run of 3? Is it any better than that one? I don't think it will be. It can't have 1 on it. No, it really can't have 1 on it, because there's a 1 in one of those 2 positions. So it's not 1, 2, 3. Is it 2, 3, 4? Probably, maybe, don't know. If it's 2, 3, 4, this would be a 3, wouldn't it? Oh no, you can't put 2 on either of those squares. You can't be 2, 3, 4. It's quite difficult to see that, but the 2, if it's 2, 3, 4, there would be a 3 in the middle and a 2 on one of those squares, and I've got a 2 definitely in one of those and a 2 here, so it's not 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. 3 in one of those. Does that get ruled out by anything? Don't think so. I'm not sure. 3, 4, 5 might work. 4, 5, 6 I can get rid of. Oh, in fact, anything with a 6 in it will get rid of. 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay. All right, there's a tiny point. Right, this digit is 4 or 8, I think, which is going to be helpful. I think I'm going to have to revisit my colouring then. Okay, I think that digit can only be 4 or 8. Might be wrong, but let's go through it again. 1, 2, 3 definitely is out, because there is a 1 in one of those. 2, 3, 4 is out, because neither of the winged digits can be 2. 3, 4, 5 is totally possible. That would make that a 4. 4, 5, 6 is ruled out. 5, 6, 7 is ruled out. 6, 7, 8 is ruled out. So 7, 8, 9 is the other possibility. That would have an 8 in the middle of the sequence. And that square is therefore, by dint of our very early colouring, orange. Now, how do we make use of that? So that means orange is in one of those squares and green is in one of these. It means that... it must mean more. It must mean more. It means this can't be 3, 6, 4, 8 now, because we can't put 4, 8 in either of those squares. So does that one have to have 0 on it? Yes, it does. It can't have 1 and 2 around it. So this one is 3, 6, 0, double 0, which, and we know that we know that the 6 is at the bottom, don't we? So this is a 0, 6 pair, and that's a 0, 3 pair. But we can't really do Sudoku using that. Oh, this is so rotten. It rules 0 out of that one, so that's got to be in some way meaningful. Oh, you can't put 3 around this one now at all. So this is 1, 2 and 4, 8, I think. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe. Okay, this is the one I'm interested in now, I think. It definitely doesn't have 3 or 6 around it. It definitely doesn't have 0 around it. It can only have 1, 1, 2 pair around it. So it is 1, 2, 4, 8. So let's put the options in for those squares and just see what we can get rid of. We can get rid of 2 from this one, 1 from this one. Now if we can get... Can we colour this somehow? You see, both that square and that square can't be orange. So the orange version, orange is in there, which means green is in there. Which means, oh, again, it's getting so confusing. But now lime green is down here, which means red is up there. So I still don't think I've managed. Ah, yeah, no, I have done it now. Because lime green was on the left side of this one. So it's not there. Wow, and there's only one space for where lime green goes around here. And it is exactly there. And that is going to connect lime green and the dark green orange pair at last, I think. So I think this is... Well, we can see now it's dark green and it's dark green and it's lime. So in other words, we'll make all of these dark green, I think. Which means we make red into orange. Which means we can place orange, look, there. That's the only place orange can be. So we know where the dark green is around this one. And we know where the zeros are as a result of that. Those two are both 0. Good grief. This is really, I mean, it's a fascinating puzzle. But it is not easy. Right, this is not 2. That's not 1. So the 1 around this quadruple clue is here. 1, 2, 2, 1 is how that looks. And we know that that's certainly not orange. That's certainly orange. That's certainly dark green. We can't do Sudoku, so I can't. No, in fact, no, Sudoku just doesn't work. Look at that. Where's dark green in box 4? It doesn't exist. You can't put it anywhere. And that's absolutely fine because there is a 0 in it. So this one needs to have a 9 in it, doesn't it? Doesn't that have to be here, or have I gone completely crazy? That square is not 4 or 8 because it sees both flavours of it. So it's 5, 7. That must be 6. And unless I've gone mad, I think the only digit that we've got that we can possibly add to this panoply is the digit 9. And that must go there. That's quite a surprising digit. Now, come on, think. Use your brain, because this is surely we can do more. What is... Yeah, this one at the bottom doesn't have 4 or 8 around it. Doesn't have 0 around it, so it has 3 and 6 around it, and therefore that's got to be there, and that's got to be there, which is great, but doesn't do anything really. Oh, yes it does. It does. It tells me the flavour of this. Orange is now 8, because if orange was 4, there would be a 3 there, wouldn't there? So 8, 8, 8, 8, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 8. Oh, that's an orange 8 that I'd missed. Don't do Sudoku. Right, these are 7 and 9. And we can do the order because of the 9 we just discovered. So that's 9, that's 7. I want to say that's 5, but that might be absolute nonsense. I can see there's no 5 in the box. And there's no... So, but there's no 2 in that box, actually. 2 is the missing digit, so that does have 5 in it. I mean, there have been some strange puzzles over the years on Cracking the Cryptic. This is right up there. In that row, there cannot be a 4, so there must be a 7. Now, this one doesn't have 3 and 6 around it. It doesn't have 1s and 2s around it. It does have 4 and 8s around it, so the only way to finish it is with double 0. Okay, that's not a 0, because that would be a 1 by kropki dot. So the zeros are known, and that's going to finally allow me to colour these top digits correctly. So green is 4, that's 8, that's got to be 7. It can't be 9 by Sudoku. I'd love to know what's missing from this column. Well, 1, 2, I've got to be really careful. 5, 7 or 9. 5 or 9 into that square by Sudoku, allowing for sort of all the nonsensical possibilities. Okay. So I've got a kropki dot here. Surely that can be done. Does that need to have 8 on it? It doesn't have 0, 2, 4 or 6. It does need to have 8 on it, so it must be an 8-9 pair because the 7 isn't available. And this square I want to say is 5, but that might be wrong. It's either 5 or it's 3. Both of those digits, or one of those digits, is just not appearing in this box. Okay, and in this row, 5 and 7 haven't appeared, so that is a 5 or a 7. So, what is going on here? 4 can't appear in this box, so these are 5, 7 and 9. I'm not sure. I may need to think more about these kropki dots, I think. What about this one, then? That can't have 0 on it, because 1 isn't available. It doesn't have 2, 6 or 8, so it has 4 on it, and I can place that. Great. So that's 4. That's therefore losing its colour, if not its religion. And this square is 3 or 5. It's not 3, is it? So that's 5. Which means that is not 5. Ah! Still doesn't work. Okay. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh, it's very difficult for these squares to be even. They see 0, 2, 4 and 8. So the only way they could be even is if they were 6. That might be possible. Can we not get these sorted out then now? We probably can, I just don't know how. One of these is 0. Oh, this is very, I find this very difficult, I have to say. Very, very difficult. And I think it's making me seem extremely stupid. I don't mean to be. 5, 7. What's this square? It could be 5, 7, but there must be another. Oh, 0. It's not 0. It's definitely not 0 because zero's around there somewhere. There's definitely a 0 in one of those. So this is a 5, 7 pair. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do with that. Okay. There has to be an even digit on this. What is that even digit? It's either a 6 here. I don't actually. Oh, maybe this one actually is better. Because this one. Oh, does that see 2? Yes, it does. Right, that is an odd digit. Definitely. That's big. That's actually a reasonably sensible deduction, isn't it? That simply cannot be even. It sees all the even Sudoku digits. So it's odd. I don't know what it is then. So it's 5, 7 or 9 apparently. By the fact it's not 1 or 3. But this digit I think has only the option of being 6 because we worked that out before. So this doesn't have the option of being 9 anymore. And if that's 6, that's 6. And that must be the big deduction. So there we go. We get the zeros into the grid. We can uncolour all of this jiggery-pokery at the top. And maybe we can do more. So this square, of course it's 5, 7 or 9, isn't it? Who'd have thought it could be anything different? That is a 5, 7, 9 triple in this column, which is a weird thing to say. And 2, 4 and 8. Oh, we can't put 4 in, so they must be a 2, 8 pair. And I know the order. Okay, that's weird. That's 3, that's 6 by dint of Sudoku in box 3. So this digit is 7 or 9. Oh, no. 7 or 9. So this digit is even and is 8 or 6. Well, it is 8 then. It can't be 6. So that's 8. That gets me to do Sudoku at the bottom. How do I get this digit? I mean, it must be done now, mustn't it? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 into the... So that's a naked single. That's a 9, apparently. It can't be 6 or 7. That's a 6, therefore, in the top row, because it can't be 7 either. And in this box, I've not pasted 3, 5, and 9. So that is 3 or 5. This 6 gives me a 6 down there. So that's 6, that's 3, this is double 0. That 7 is doing work which I hadn't seen. So that's now 5. I mean, Sudoku just doesn't work. 3, 5. This is 3 or 5. It can't be 9. There is no 9 in row 2. You'd probably find if we work through it that every row, column and box is missing one different digit each time. That might not be true, but that's just my sense of how this is probably going to work. I've got a 3, 5 pair now in column 5. So the digits I haven't placed in column 5 are 1, 2 and 0. So that's a 1 naked single. And that must be a 2 naked single. And in this row, we've not put in 9 and something, 4. Well, that's got to be 9 then. And in this box, we've not put in 0 and 7. Okay, that's got to be 7. Oh, no, don't. Oh, the 5 here is helpful. So that's a 7. I've got a 5, 9 pair in this column. I really hope this resolves somehow. At the moment, I'm not sure it's going to. I need this digit to work. What is it? 5 or 7 maybe. No, this isn't good. 5 here means this is 3. So that's 5. That's 3. That's 7. That's 9. That's 5. Okay, so maybe it does work. Oh, no, it doesn't. Still doesn't work. So what's this? It doesn't seem to be resolved by anything. Oh, 7 in the corner means that's a 9. This is weird. This is just plain weird. And that's a 7. And somehow that has filled itself in. I mean, I did nothing, basically. I did nothing except mislead you all. And for that, I apologise, but I don't know what to say. Yet, no, there are 9 8s in the grid. So what I said before was wrong. There definitely aren't 9s. There definitely aren't 9 4s. There are very few 4s. This is, yeah. It's technically correct, but it's absolutely bonkers. That's really, I mean, actually, I need to speak to Mark about this one because I'm slightly worried that people would be cross if we put this out, because I can't change that first line of the rules to say normal Sudoku rules apply, because they just don't. And if I don't, everyone's going to just go, it's broken, it's broken. The comments are going to explode. Well, yes, but it is very clever, actually. That is a very clever puzzle. Lorena, take a bow. That was extremely unusual and actually quite hard. I'm gonna be interested to see whether or not other people have found that hard, but I found it hard. Even once you discover what's going on, it wasn't easy to fill in. And is it correct? It must be correct. Yes, and so you should be. And so you should be. Brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.